Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to learn two new rules. Both of them have the same name, geometric mean theorem. The one on your left-hand side is altitude theorem. So we're going to focus on altitude, whose name is CD. That's altitude, CD. The one on your right-hand side is called the leg theorem. We're going to talk about leg AC, long leg, and leg BC, shorter leg. Okay, let's look at altitude theorem. It says in a right triangle, the altitude in this example is CD. From the right angle is ACB. To the hypotenuse is AB. Divided the hypotenuse into two segments. Let's give it different color. We have segment AD, that is yellow, and segment, let's choose a different color for segment BD. That is a pretty color. Okay, so we have two segments. What happened? The length of the altitude, in this case it's CD, is the geometric mean of the length of the two segments. Remember, when we write a proportional relationship, beautiful proportion, we have 8 different variations we learned from previous lesson. But today we're going to stay with one. Once you have this basic one, you can interchange the means, interchange extremes, and do the inverse, and all kinds of things you can do. Exciting, right? But today we're going to stay just with one. All right, as you can see, the hypotenuse was divided into AD and BD. Okay, so I'm going to write this blue part of BD. We're going to write down here. So this is my segment 1, and which means I'm going to put a segment 2 here. Segment 1, segment 2. Which is 1, which is 2 does not matter. You decide. But what really matters is you need to put altitude right here. Because from the previous lesson we learned, and also from your pre-algebra or middle school, you learned that this part is called mean. So make sure you put the altitude at the mean. Therefore, if we say this rule in English, in words, we're going to say segment 1 to altitude is altitude to segment 2. Now, I'm going to take away the words, going to put the name of the segment here for this case. Our segment is CD. Our altitude is CD, okay, CD, CD. And our segment, now I'm going to put down segment. Our segment, remember, who is your 1, who is your 2 does not matter. Therefore, I can put down BD to AD. I can also rewrite, I'm going to say, altitude has to stay at the mean part, okay? Altitude stay at mean part. This time I'm going to write down AD here, write down BD here. Both of them are great, truthful and beautiful. And the key is that altitude theorem, it's geometric mean, means the altitude need to stay at the mean place of this proportion. So that's the rule for the altitude theorem, geometric mean altitude theorem. I'm going to erase this, and we're gonna talk about leg. Okay? All right. Now we have one thing to take care of. This is a leg theorem. The same as we said before, CD is the altitude. AC is the long leg. BC is the short leg, and AB is the hypotenuse. Geometric mean leg theorem says this. In a right triangle, the altitude from the right angle to the hypotenuse divides the hypotenuse into two segments. I'm going to talk about this case. It says CD is the altitude. CD divided hypotenuse AB into AD and BD. I color it into green and yellow. Okay? Now, since I color AD into green, I'm going to go ahead and color AC also into green. Why? You will know very soon. I color BD into yellow. I'm going to color BC also into yellow. Why? I'm going to explain right now. Because AC is the long leg. So I'm going to write down, this is my long leg. Very, very light pencil writing, long leg. And AD, the one I just colored green, is this long leg's projection. Therefore, I want both of them have the same color. BC is the shorter leg. Let me use a better ink for you that's a shorter leg. And I'm going to rewrite this long leg for you to see. This is a long leg. And this BD I colored yellow earlier. This is a shorter leg's projection. Okay? All right. Now, this is what's happening. The length of each leg of the right triangle is the geometric mean of the length of the hypotenuse and the segment of the hypotenuse that is adjacent to the leg. That's a projection I talk about. The segment, that's AD, is adjacent to AC. BD is adjacent to BC. Now, I'm going to write down this relationship in words. Then we're going to switch it. We're going to use its name. So this time, we're going to put a hypotenuse here. Okay? Then we're going to put one of the leg. I'm going to use a long leg. I'm going to say long leg. And I'm going to put a long leg here. Did you see I put this leg in the part that is called geometric mean, because we're talking about geometric mean. What do we put here in this empty space? Since I'm using long leg, I'm going to use the long leg's projection, which is, in another word, I'm using the segment of the hypotenuse that is adjacent to the leg. So AD is adjacent to long leg. So I'm going to use AD. I still write in words. Okay? So I'm going to say the segment that is adjacent to long leg. Looks like a lot of writing, but it's okay. We're going to change them. Write in name. Hypotenuse is, in this case, AB. Long leg, in this case, is AC, AC. And the segment adjacent to long leg is AD. What a beautiful relationship. Once again, can we switch the mean after we finish writing the first one? Can we make a variation? Of course. We can say leg, leg. Hypotenuse, you stay here. And all right. Now, we finish writing for the long leg. I'm going to write for the shorter leg. I'm going to erase this portion, write for the shorter leg. Same idea. We're going to write geometric mean for the leg. So this time I write short leg. Short leg. And then remember, we're going to put a hypotenuse here for our first round. Later we can change it. And then we're going to write the projection for the short leg. And we can write a little bit longer sentence. We say the segment that is adjacent to short leg. We can also write briefly. We simply say short leg's projection. Short legs projection. I like this better. Less writing. Very brief. Okay? We're going to put the name here. Short leg, BC, BC. projection for BC, the segment adjacent to BC, that is BD, and hypotenuse AB. All is good, all is well. All right, we're gonna switch the extreme and we get a new proportion. So we're gonna have AB and BD. BC, BC, you stay. Okay, that is all about these two beautiful rules. Both of them called geometric mean theorem. One is altitude, one is lag. In our next video, we're going to use these two rules, apply them to solve some problems. Happy learning!